So in this video, I am going to be showing you my go-to foundation routine. These are the products and this is what I do to make sure that my foundation lasts throughout the day. These are the products that I really believe in, that I feel last the longest, they look the best on my skin, and they just give this like airbrushed, beautiful look. So if you are interested in seeing my go-to foundation routine, please stay tuned. Alright, so the first step in my go-to foundation routine is primer. So I'm going to first take my clip and clip back my hair, and I'm going to be priming my face today with the J1 Jelly Pack Concentrated Multifunctional Primer Gel. This is a good primer if you have really dry skin. It's actually a primer skincare product in one. So it's a primer, it hydrates, it firms, and it smooths. And I really notice a huge difference with this product over my dry skin. So if you are new, I have severely dry skin. So I want primers that are smoothing and hydrating. And I love this one for that because it leaves kind of a tacky feel on my face too, so that the foundation sticks. So I take one pump and concentrate that on the cheek and nose region, and then I take another half a pump and put it on my forehead. So when you are priming your face, you definitely want to let your primer sit for 5 minutes. So I usually will prime my face and let it dry. I'll go and make coffee in the morning, or I'll just turn on my podcast. Basically just do something to allow your primer to sit for a few seconds. So for foundation today, I'm going to be using the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Makeup. I love this foundation. This is like my go-to foundation when I know that I need my foundation to last all day. It's a nice like medium buildable to full coverage. It's a nice like satin matte natural finish. It's not too matte, so it doesn't look horrible on my dry skin, but it also lasts all day. So what I do is I shake it up really well, and I just start applying. It doesn't have a pump, which is a pain in the tushy, so I'll just take a little bit on my finger and spread it around my face. I am in the color N10 Porcelain, and I feel like this is the best foundation color match that I have out of all of my foundations. So what I'll do after I got it all dotted on my face is I will take my Morphe M439 brush, and I'll just start pushing this into my skin. I like the most coverage for my foundations on my cheeks and my forehead. So I really take my time blending this out, and I'm pushing the foundation into my skin rather than using a buffing motion. I'm going to stipple it into my skin, and this is how I achieve the most coverage with this foundation. So I just do this all over my face. Okay, so once I have the first layer on there, this amount of coverage is really nice. I'm okay with this, but if I want to build it up, this foundation doesn't like get cakey and gross when you try to build it up. So I'm actually going to take a little bit more and kind of build up the coverage on my cheeks a little bit more. So I'm just doing the same thing. I find with foundations that when you go in with light layers first and build up the coverage, that helps it so it doesn't look cakey. So I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to press this second layer into my skin using the same brush. Okay, so that is the foundation just on its own. It's such a pretty, like, natural looking finish, but you can still see my freckles. You can still see, like, that I have skin under my foundation. Oh wow, my hair's looking crazy. You can still see that I have freckles and marks under my skin, but my skin has a nice finish to it. There's no redness or anything. It's just a nice, even complexion. Okay, so then I will go in with my concealer. For concealers, I kind of go between a bunch of different concealers, but today I'm going to use the Tarte Shape Tape. I have two colors here. I have Fair Neutral, which is 12N now in the new color system, and I have 16 and Fair Light Neutral. So I really like these. I know that these concealers are going to last throughout the day. I know that they're not going to cake up on me. They're going to add a little bit more coverage, but they're going to be like a soft matte coverage. So I take the color 12N and use this to highlight my skin or highlight the middle of my face. And then I use the color 16N under my eyes. I know some people like to highlight the under part of their eyes, but on me and my pale skin, it's sometimes, like, if you get a concealer that's too light, it can actually highlight my under eyes rather than like conceal them. So I just use a concealer that's pretty much the same color as my skin. So I'm using a damp beauty sponge to tap this in, and I'm first going to concentrate on the middle of my face. And I'm just doing the same thing that I did with my my foundation brush. I'm just tapping that in. And I'm really going to concentrate this on the middle part of my face because you want to bring light to the middle part of your face. Now once I have that all blended in, I'll go in with the pointed part of my sponge and just blend out the under eye. I like to use the pointed part of my sponge because it kind of gets right into the little nook of my eye there. You could definitely use a foundation brush too to blend in your under eye concealer, but I just find that if I ever get too much concealer or it just looks like there's too much product under there, the sponge is going to pick that up and make it look like a little bit more of a natural finish. So you want to make sure to set your under eyes especially. And I use a loose powder to do this. I switch between two different powders. These are great powders. The first one being the Unique Touch Behold Setting Powder. I love this one because it's got this net in here so that you don't get a bunch of powder everywhere. Or I also use the Maybelline Fit Me loose powder in the color 05 Fair. This is also a really finely milled powder, so both of these powders are going to make your under eyes look really smooth, but they're not going to look cakey, and they're not going to add more product to the creases under your eyes, so you don't get a bunch of creasing. I'm going to go in with the Maybelline one today, and I just put a little bit in the cap. And I love this brush from Eco Tools. This is the big powder brush. It's kind of got a little bit of an angle, so it's nice to get right into the cranny of your eye. And I just have a little bit of product on the cap, and I just tap it in there, tap off the excess, and place it under my eye. And then you got a nice smooth under eye. This is going to keep all of your concealer in place, but it's not going to add too much coverage to the under eye, so it'll stay nice and bright. And it'll keep the concealer from going into the creases under your eye. Alrighty, once you have your under eyes set, I like to use a pressed powder to set the rest of my face. The first one being the Unique Mineral Touch foundation. This is actually a pressed powder foundation, but I love this because it gives a nice layer of coverage without being too cakey, and I am in the color Organza. I have used the crap out of this product. I love this product. It's very finely milled, so you're not going to have it's not going to look cakey or chunky. Or if you're looking for a drugstore pressed powder option, this is the Maybelline Better Skin pressed powder. This is very similar to the Unique one, just a little bit more affordable. And it comes like this with the pad or whatever. And it's also very finely milled, so it's not going to add a bunch of product to your face. So you're not going to look cakey, you're just going to have like the nice, smooth, airbrushed look. So I'm actually going to go in with this one, and I'm going to take the same brush that I used for my setting powder and just get a little bit on my brush, and again, using pressing motions, apply that to the rest of my face. Alrighty, so once you have all of your foundation done, all of your makeup done, the last step is to set it all in place, and I use a setting spray to do that. The one that I use the most, and that is my absolute favorite, is the Catrice Prime and Fine Dewy Glow Fixing Spray. This thing is by far the best that I have ever found. So if I ever have like a foundation that is looking too dry, too cakey, it just isn't like looking good, I just spray this on and it like fixes everything. It's amazing. So all I do is shake it up and move all my hair back out of the way and just spray it all. And I take this random envelope on my desk that I have had sitting here forever, and I just fan myself so there's no like big droplets of setting spray anywhere, just so it dries evenly. It kind of gives like a nice skin-like finish, and it like melts all the powders together, and it just makes your makeup look so. If you guys found this video helpful, please hit that subscribe button down below and hit the little bell too, so that you know when I upload any videos. And if you have anything that you want to see a video on, or if you have a problem with your foundation that you need help fixed, please leave it down in the comments and I will make sure to address that for you. So that is all I have for you guys today. If you liked this video, please give it a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you soon.